Many questions I had that I never got answered when I was considering which watch to buy between these blue Royal Oaks until I bought both of them. So this video is to provide you with all the info on these two watches that I couldn't get for myself. Both watches you are looking at are Royal Oaks, with one just standard and other is Chrono. They both have their own strengths and attributes to suit your personal preferences. Which one is a better watch? Is there really an answer to that? The case size on both of these watches is the same 41mm, but the wearability is different. Personally, I believe the Chrono wears smaller despite having Chrono pushers. The smaller wearability on Chrono is attributed to minute tracker rim that reduces the dial size by about 2mm compared to 154. The minute tracker rim on the blue Chrono has the same blue colored as dial, but due to minute graduations it looks all white, and due to its contrasting plain texture it acts as the border of the dial, hence reducing the dial size. As simple as it sounds, there's something interesting that makes another difference in how dials wear. Have a closer look and you'll see that our indices on Chrono are placed under the minute tracker rim, whereas if you see the same on 154, the minute counter markings are made between the hour indices and not outside of them, unlike Chrono. To elaborate, the hour indices on 154 extend all the way to dial perimeter towards the casing rehaut, whereas on the Chrono, the minute tracker rim separates the hour markers from casing rehaut by 1mm on each side of the dial, hence the smaller feel of the dial even when the size is the same. Amazing how tiny design modifications change the whole experience. As for the smallest interval reading, the minute markers on the Chrono are made to the accuracy of 1/5 of a second, as opposed to 154, where we have graduations made only for each second. This complements the sporty characteristics of Chrono with sub-dials to measure minutes and hours, as opposed to 154, which showcases a more dressy look. The hour indices on 154 are thinner and longer, as opposed to the one on Chrono, which are wider but shorter in length. This helps improve the lume on Chrono due to broadly filled luminous material. Another distinctive characteristic of Chrono is the hour and minute hands. As similar as they look, they are actually slightly wider on the Chrono. The luminous material as a result is again filled widely in the hands on Chrono, making them balanced with hour indices. Whereas if you look at 154, the luminous material in the hands is much narrower than that of hour indices. The seconds hand on 154 maintains the conventional design and tapers down from its bottom to its tip. Let me spend a moment to say that this tapering seconds hand is probably one of the most beautiful design elements I absolutely love on 154. Sigh, it's gone, even in the new 155 series. Whereas on the Chrono, the largest seconds hand does not taper down at its tip, rather it maintains its width along the length. That being said, I do think that non-tapering seconds hand does help with sporty look of the watch. The largest seconds hand further has skeletonized bottom, which also does add to the sporty look of the watch. The dial pushers on the Chrono make it look much more sporty compared to 154. The crown guards on the Chrono add to the masculinity, sportiness and overall heft of the watch. Another interesting thing is the bevels on the case on Chrono, especially towards the crown side. If you notice, you'll find that the case beveling tapers down on 154 as you move towards the crown. But on Chrono, they don't taper at all, rather extend all the way through and continue onto the crown guards. I really like how AP have maintained the balance by going to the depths of even bevel to add uniformity between the case and the crown guards. Even the crown on Chrono is bigger than that of standard Royal Oak, although both crowns are triplock. That is, first step for winding, second for date, and last step for setting the time. The added heftiness in Chrono due to bigger crown, its guards and pushes does result in making the watch look sporty, yet does not compromise on the wearability for the smaller wrists. Now the dial color. This is one aspect that I think is confused the most. I was told by whoever I asked when I was inquiring that these both share the same color. It is just the assumption made because they are both blue and you will rarely get an opportunity to see them side by side. Unfortunately, both of these pieces are so rare that you are unlikely to run into even one of them at the shops. So the possibility of finding them both at the boutique to do side-by-side comparison is practically close to none. And no, they don't share the same shade of blue. The shade of blue on Chrono is very dark, stunning blue, whereas if you look at 154, the color is grayish blue. The 154 is much lighter in its color and is mostly grey in the look, whereas the Chrono looks mostly dark blue and when reflected by light source gives absolutely stunning shades of royal blue. Although darker, I think the blue on Chrono is a truer blue, whereas on the 154, although lighter, it is a greyish blue. Looking at caseback, Chrono features a closed caseback which encases AP caliber 2385 based off Frederick Piguet caliber 1185, which helps maintain the thinner case profile. The 154 on the other hand features an exhibition caseback and showcases a beautifully decorated in-house movement AP caliber 3120 featuring 22 karat gold rotor. In the end, I'll just express my personal thoughts. Both of these watches are absolutely stunning timepieces that have more in common than differences. For example, both watches share exactly the same bracelet and clasp. Both watches maintain the Genta design, case integrated with bracelet, and in exactly the same design as sketched by Genta in 1972. Both watches are blue colored, which is the most sought after color in the industry, particularly when the watch in question is AP. 154 Blue is boutique exclusive, now replaced with 15500, and even though 26331 is not boutique exclusive, but due to AP's limited distribution of such sought after pieces to ADs, it is extremely hard to get hold of this from AD now. If you're looking for a modern stance of Royal Oak and prefer a more sporty looks in the watch and intend on using it for more casual activities, prefer a bit of extra wrist presence, appreciate contrast in the dials due to added chronos, enjoy a little more loud watch, prefer a more luminous style in the dark, appreciate a balanced yet very happening, and of course require a chronograph in the watch, 26331 will be your only option here. But if you prefer a more conventional design, simpler dial with 3 hands, appreciate a more dressy watch and intend on using it for more formal wear than casual, prefer lighter shades of blue, look for date at 3 o'clock rather than at 4:30, prefer the tapestry pattern over the luxury of subdials, like lesser contrast in the dials due to lack of subdials, admire a more vintage design than a modern design, and require an exhibition caseback featuring movement in the watch, then 15400 is the undefeated contender here. If you found my video informative and enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the thumbs up below and subscribe to my channel. I've reviewed these watches in detail separately on the channel, and the link for the videos are available in the description below if you want to have a closer look on either or both of them. I'll see you in a couple of weeks' time with something that you will only love. Thanks for watching, and until next time, have a good one.